As an ACE Parking team member, you are responsible for safeguarding some of our guests' most prized possessions, their vehicles. So this video is meant to walk you through some vehicle safety basics to help you park and deliver guest vehicles in the safest manner and free from damage. You're going to be driving, parking, and unparking a lot of vehicles. Now, whether you're parking in garages like this or parking lots like this, priority number one is always to operate and park those vehicles safely. So I'm going to cover some of the most common obstacles you will face and try to give you some guidance on how to navigate those safely. So let's get started. To begin, the most effective tool you, as a valet, can utilize is to always operate vehicles at a safe speed. You should always drive at a slow speed and use care and caution when parking and unparking vehicles. After all, when parking, speeding is the enemy of safety. Rounding corners in parking lots and garages can be hazardous. A common mistake that people make is failing to give themselves enough space to complete their turn, oftentimes starting their turn too soon or turning the corner too sharply. And the results can be disastrous. Frequently, you cannot completely see around a corner, so you should always proceed slowly, and as you approach a corner, make sure to look for oncoming traffic. Once you see that you are clear, proceed to turn the vehicle out as wide as you can to avoid any obstacles or vehicles present at that corner. This is especially important when driving large vehicles like trucks and SUVs. Doing so will allow you to safely round the corner and proceed on. Anytime you're parking in a garage, it is important that you be aware of the garage's clearance restrictions and make sure not to drive any vehicles that exceed the height clearance into the garage. Take note that some garages may have different clearances for different floors. Sometimes, garages have designated parking spaces specifically for the parking of oversized vehicles, so be sure to utilize these spaces when you're parking a large vehicle. Parking garages are loaded with hazards for you to be aware of. You will find low-hanging pipes, wires, venting, and concrete pillars, among many other obstacles. When backing up, do not rely upon one mirror or a backup camera alone, or you may not see something in a blind spot. Instead, before you start moving, check your mirrors and look out the rear window, which should allow for a safe entry into the parking space. Some walls may have vents that hang low and can damage the rear windshield or liftgates of SUVs or vans. So in these areas, you will not want to back vehicles in. Instead, pull in forward to ensure safety. Before you enter any vehicle, be sure to take note of any extra equipment that vehicle might have. These are items you may not be able to see once you're inside the vehicle. Items like roof racks, external spare tires, bicycle racks, or tow hitches. Being unaware of these items can lead to causing damage. As a valet, you will be backing in most vehicles when parking. You will only be parking cars head in when spaces are at an angle to avoid any hazards, or you are instructed to by your supervisor. When backing vehicles in, it is important to go slow. Make sure you are using the correct angle. Use all of your mirrors as well as looking over your shoulder to ensure that you are clear of all obstacles. The most common mistake valets make when they're backing in is that they do not pull far enough past the space that they're trying to park in before they start their turn to get their proper angle, which results in them not being lined up when reversing. All cars, as well as parking spaces, vary in size, so backing in will require slight adjustments. A good rule is to pull the front bumper of the vehicle that you're parking up to the front corner of the vehicle just past the spot you want to park in. From there, you proceed to pull out approximately at a 45-degree angle. Once you have reached the correct angle, stop the vehicle. From there, turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, then using your mirrors as guides, proceed in reverse until you are aligned with the stall, and then come to a complete stop. Once aligned, straighten the wheels by turning the steering wheel 1.5 turns to the left and proceed to reverse straight back until you're fully in the stall. Remember, when reverse parking, never force anything. If you feel like you may be too close to an obstruction, are unsure of your approach or your angle, you may always reset and try again. As an ace parking valet, you will need to be responsible for preparing yourself for success. Make sure to engage during your valet certification training and always ask questions. When working at a new property, have the manager or location staff show you what hazards to avoid and the proper areas to park different sized vehicles. Never use your cell phone while operating vehicles, and always ensure that you are driving at a slow and safe speed. And lastly, if you are ever uncomfortable driving a vehicle, be it a manual transmission, an oversized vehicle, an exotic car, or anything else, always defer to another valet that is comfortable operating that type of vehicle. So thanks for watching, guys, and let's all be safe out there.